الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وبعد. Who said liberals are not funny? For decades now, the liberal community, under the guise of saving the environment, were telling us that don't call a monkey a monkey. Monkeys are primates. Allah called them monkeys in the Quran, qirada. They are called monkeys in the Bible. Who are these people to come and change the name of a species that humanity have called since Allah knows when monkeys? If you go to a monkey and call the monkey, hey monkey, or call the monkey, hey primate, it's not going to make any difference to the monkey. The monkey might be saying, what's wrong with these people? The forest is called a jungle in the English language. In the Arabic, it's ghaba. It's like a forest. We don't have the equivalent of a jungle as much as I know. So they say a jungle, don't call it a jungle. Call it a rainforest. Why? It's redundant because a forest, you should expect, they have rain. So a rainforest would be meaning a rainforest that gets a lot of rain. A forest is a good name. What's wrong with that name? Now jungle is something different maybe to the English speaking people, which means it's extremely retarded, backward, whatever the terms that they come up with, which are not acceptable. But an abuser will not say, when they're trying to go to the jungle to shoot animals for fun, they're not going to be saying, we're entering a rainforest now and I'm going to go back home. I'm not going to abuse the animals here or the people who live in the jungle. An abuser will not differentiate between a monkey and a primate. So if they're trying to say these terms that we're using now will help people not think ill or or become abusers of these parts of Mother Nature. Mother Nature. What does Mother Nature mean? Allah knows. They think the earth created them. This is a fact. This is a fact. They don't believe in a creator. So, knowing that you can't come out of nothing, so they are making the earth the creator, just for the people of the earth. The rest of the world, who knows? So lately they have been pushing new terms. A few days ago, a homeless man was choked to death, literally, by an ex-Marine. I'm not talking about that case in specific. But then I heard the liberal media, some of them, saying that an unhoused man was killed. unhoused. How does this make it better than homeless? You see, when you call it a homeless, it will make people feel that these people are deprived. They need to be somewhere, not in the street. They shouldn't be in the street. They have no freedom to be in the streets and bothering and abusing people in many cases, throwing things at them, fighting with each other, knifing each other. Look at the news, especially in California. They have tens of thousands of homeless people in California, and the governor there seems to be living somewhere else. They don't have a solution for that. You have a lot of money, literally. California gets more money than most African or Asian nations. So they have money. Why don't you build special places for these people and tell them you are going to be housed either in these homes, and we'll take care of you in the meantime until we figure out what your problem is and help you, or you are going to be housed in jail, because you can't be in the street. It's degrading to humanity to see people in the streets, and they should think about them that these people, we don't know the story behind their being homeless in the street. We should try to help them and not look at the scenes of the homeless in the streets as a stain in the way of you looking at the streets that are nice and clean. No, you should be looking at the streets with homeless as a stain on the government. They should help these people, whether they like it or not. They don't have a freedom. Look at the streets of the cities of California as an example. It's a crime infested because of those homeless, some of them, of course. Many of them are not. They're just ordinary people who had difficult times and in different ways, human beings. But there are the abusers, like everywhere else, and they're throwing things at themselves, at each other, and the stain, the stink. That's not good for them. That's not good for humanity, and that's not good for the taxpayers who want to go to the streets and shop without being bothered by some of the homeless people. Some, not all. There is no way that you can say all of them are like this, but their situation is bad. It's not good. And the government is number one responsible for this crime against humanity, that these people are homeless. Those who have a reason to make them homeless. And they should be given the opportunity to live somewhere, to be housed. But to call them unhoused, what? Are you saying that they live in apartments? They don't live in houses? What does that mean? Unhoused. Really? We'll call them homeless because there is a home. Many people live there, their home full. And there is a home. Many people don't have these. They are homeless. And homeless should be a term that reminds a human being of the plight of people who need help. As they say, they fell into difficult times. Difficult times. What can we say? So, yes, we feel bad for the homeless, especially those who had circumstances, had things that happened to them, disasters that caused them to live in the streets. And we should help them. They should get help. They're human beings. They shouldn't be living in a situation where many abusers who want to be homeless because they prey on other homeless to be victims of the abusers among the homeless. Maybe you can take it on your own and discuss with some of the homeless that what led you to be in the street. Some of them, they just left on their own, no reason. They shouldn't be allowed to have this so-called freedom. We have learned that in the West, freedom is in the eye of the beholder. In many cases, either that's extreme liberals or extreme conservatives. That's for another time. But today, it's the homeless. They are homeless. We should call them homeless, because this would remind us when we get at the door of our own home, first, thank Allah you have a house to house you, an apartment where you can live in. And then think about the others who might have just fallen into difficult times and they had no other option because the states are not helping them, because the liberals give so much money, but not to these people, but they keep complaining about the government not helping. The liberals controlled Congress a number of times in the past few decades. Nothing happened about gun control, controlling the prices of medications. Nothing happened. But they keep talking about the other government, Republicans, when they're in the White House, the government and the Congress. Congress don't do anything. Well, you had the chance, you didn't do anything about it. And the homeless is a situation where many people are in need of help. They're legitimate cases that cause them to be in the street should be addressed, and they should be helped. Let me end with this. Since the time of Adam and Eve, and I don't think the liberals believe in Adam and Eve. Maybe they believe in a monkey. Adam wasn't a monkey. I can assure you, he was a human being, the father of humanity. From him, Allah created Eve, Hawa, whether the liberals like it or not. Since that time, since the first child Hawa, Eve gave birth to, until today, it was always known as pregnant mothers. The pregnant mothers, pregnant females, they're the only ones who get pregnant, really. The T's, transgender people, unless they are female and pretending to be males, the females are the one who get pregnant. Pregnant people, what does that mean? Yeah, liberals. No need to curse at them. Calling them progressive liberals is enough of a denunciation of these godless people who are trying their best to drag humanity into the worst kind of mud ever found on earth. They try to destroy family, religion, honor, culture, take away the responsibility of raising kids from the parents so they can raise them their own way, and introduce to us terms that mean nothing. A man who wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to go to girls' locker rooms and see what's going on. Let me wear a wig. I am a woman. No, you're not. You're a man. a man who exposed himself in the YWCA to women, including a teen, they call them teenagers, a young girl. He exposed himself. And guess what? They saw a man exposing his penis. Filthy people. Filthy people. And the women, screamed, shouted. They took the people to court because they allowed this man to come into the locker of the women. And I don't understand why women go together into lockers and expose themselves to each other. That alone is forbidden in Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, and many other countries, many other religions and cultures. So they do that. A man comes and exposes himself and says, I am a woman. They go to court. I just learned that they lost the suitcase. The judge says she was given permission by the administration to go into locker rooms. So no more indecent exposure. It's gone. Don't use it anymore. Call it a tease exposure. So that man exposed himself to a young girl. How filthy can you be? So you want change, you Muslims? You stop at a rest area. From now on, it's federal government, property. Even if you stand outside the bathroom door for women, it's not a guarantee that a man wearing a wig, acting like he is a woman, go into the women's bathroom where you have your daughter, young daughter there, your wife there. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Keep sleeping. Keep sleeping. Don't engage yourself in this homosexual revolution that has come to masajid through the callers to this filth. You support same-sex marriage? Politically, yes. Morally, no. Signed, Yasir Qadi. Umar Sulaiman, he calls it a civil human right. So far hasn't said specifically, I am against homosexual activity of all kind. It is rejected. We don't support it. I did it before. I'm sorry. So when are you going to wake up? Yeah, Muslim men and women, involve yourself in this rejection of changing honor into dishonor, religion into no religion, males into LGBTQ plus, females into LGBTQ plus, and who knows the plus now what's going to bring for us in the future. Pregnant people? No. Pregnant couple? No. They, sometimes have interviews with people who had children, and the man says, we were pregnant. No, you were not pregnant. Your wife was. Hopefully she is your wife. No, females get pregnant. So say the pregnant, nowadays it might be interpreted, maybe he means males, females, T's. No. Before it was the pregnant was women. Well, say pregnant women. Maybe a liberal will come say, oh, it means there are pregnant men. No, only females, women get pregnant. you need to fight this liberal revolution. They have used governments before to oppress people, to push for this filth. And as long as you are asleep, Muslims, and letting Christian organizations battle this liberal revolution that brings books that teach queerdom to the kids in public schools that are paid for by the taxes of these people who reject this kind of filth. They send their children to school to learn math, science, language, history, whatever history, geography, not to learn about queer people. They're pushing people's sexual preferences on children. And then they get angry. Governor, whatever, is banning these books. You filthy child abusers. This is child abuse, isn't it? We'll talk about this later, Allah willing, because we're not going to stop talking about it. This filth will somehow, sometime catch you. Ya Muslim, Ya Muslima. In your own selves, eyes, ears, and children. Are you going to wake up? I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you do, and that we come together to fight this filth. You pay taxes, act like you pay taxes. Don't worry about what's going to happen. This is for the protection of your children. It's a shame that I haven't seen so far. Please teach me of a Muslim organization in any state in America, masajid, institutions, schools coming together and forming a bloc that would politically reach out to the politicians in their areas and tell them, we reject all these things and we will not vote for you unless you change that. So I'm not encouraging anybody to vote, but you can use this as a threat of voting versus non-voting. That's the only thing I'm talking about here. Threatening politicians of less votes, it's like telling them, you're going to die in 4 months because you're not going to win anything. So in their mind, this is death for me. I'm going to be away from all the corruption that I've been doing, all that other stuff. They might change, but keep it up. Keep it up. Many Christian organizations and other organizations are against this filth. And there is still a lot of battle between the different groups, challenging each other. This is the meaning of battle here. Challenging each other, trying to reach to the politicians so they can, stop this filth, reaching out to Congress. Do something, ya Muslims, ya Muslims, ya Muslims, ya Habibis. Please, do something. As for pregnant people, no. Pregnant women, pregnant females, La ilaha illallah. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us righteous in creed, statement and actions. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.